Well, it is like a drip, 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 and that's why I said there's only so much that I can control. But what I have tried to do in explaining this is to provide more transparency and more information than anybody that I'm aware of who's ever served in the government, and I'm happy to do that because I want these questions to be answered.
Hillary Clinton on NBC's Meet the Press maintaining she is more transparent than any other government official. But as more and more emails are released, the more curious and, quite frankly, the more absurd her argument seems. A new report now uncovers the fact that approximately 1 in 20 of the Clinton emails released so far by the State Department contain classified information. Imagine that. For more, let's welcome in via Skype the senior fellow at the Family Research Council and the former mayor of Cincinnati, not to mention former Secretary of State of the great state of Ohio, our good friend Ken Blackwell. And on the left, but still a great guy, Skyping in from Tampa, Florida, Democratic media strategist Franco Ripple. 1 in 20 emails so far with classified information. Franco, are you and other Democrats going to stick with Hillary through all of this?
Well, JD, here's something that you probably never thought you'd hear me say. You're right. This is absurd. The only thing, though, absurd about this is the content of these emails. I'm glad this last batch was released because look at some of the stuff that's being talked about. Tim Gunn commenting on her outfit choices, trying to explain what FUBAR means, which certainly we won't explain here.
That's right. It's a family show. Okay, understood. Yes. So you're taking the angle that it's just absurd, nothing to see here, move along. And yet, Ken Blackwell, we understand, according to other reports, that the Russians apparently tried to break in on her server at least 5 times. There is a serious national security component to this, isn't there?
There really is, and the Obama administration is in fact making it clear. And I think what really hurts Mrs. Clinton is that this underscores the fact that she does not play by the same rules as everyone else. And even when national security is at risk or in play, she plays by her own rules, even if it means making us vulnerable to this sort of meddling and cyber spying by Russia and others.
Go ahead, Franco.
If I can respond to that.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Franco. You bet.
You know, I'm getting, frankly, with all due respect to my friend on the right, I'm getting tired of hearing about how this has made us more vulnerable as a nation or compromise our national security when there is no evidence whatsoever that the use of this private email server, which was completely legal and within State Department boundaries at the time, and again, was done out of convenience. The State Department, these emails have shown themselves, State Department infrastructure was antiquated to handle rapid fire email communication. Plus, the recent emails came out showed that there was Russian hackers trying to phish her email account. There was no evidence those were ever responded to or even opened.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Franco. There's some other problems. For example, everyone in the federal government gets an orientation on do's and don'ts, especially in this internet age. Hillary didn't bother to go through that program at the State Department. Does her absence from that and the notion that somehow she is separate, doesn't that belie a dangerous tendency on the part of the former Secretary of State, Franco?
What I know is that Hillary Clinton has followed and did follow every regulation that was laid out in terms of following proper email protocol. She has done more. When she says she's more transparent than other government officials, she has turned over more emails than any other previous Secretary of State. And she's not the only one to be asked. The previous 4 Secretaries of State were asked to turn over emails. She's the only one who's done so. She's done so in a voluntary manner, and I applaud her for it. And Democrats are sticking with her.
All right, Franco. Ken, are you buying this? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying Franco is taking us through Alice in Wonderland's looking glass. And he's trying to convince us what is up is down and what is down is up. You know, Humpty Dumpty, another character of Lewis Carroll, once said, "He who defines is the master." And I tell you, we have spin masters like Franco out there spinning Hillary's narrative, And basically, the American people are not buying it. All you have to do is to look at her trustworthiness polling numbers, and it's going south on her. And that's because she does not play by the same rules that all of us are expected to play by.
Okay, here we're going to do it like a game show. Franco, two words I'm looking for. You're probably going to mention them here in just a second. It's time for us to blank blank. What would be those two words?
Move on.
Aha! See, there it is. You know, and we got to give you credit. You guys use that ad nauseum to where it sticks in people's minds. Unfortunately, gentlemen, we are going to have to move on. We'll have you both back in the not-too-distant future. Ken Blackwell in Cincinnati, Franco Ripple in Tampa. We thank you very much. Coming up, the Secret Service back in the news. That is not a good thing. Ron Kessler on the latest Secret Service scandal. That's next as Newsmax Prime continues. Stay with us.